Hey viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall the Director's Cut. Well, we made it back to our safe heist. Made it back from our heist to our safe house, and informed our fixer Paul Amsel that, well, Monica didn't make it, so let's have a check on the crew before we go look into the origins of Green Winters. Let's see how Paul's doing. Renairen? Amsel peers at you apprehensively. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get the information about Green Winters? No, not yet. Then please continue working. We need to find that man. Okay, so we just asked the same thing again if you keep talking to him, so go talk to Dietrich. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there is still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Renairen, welcome. Got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing. We've got a fallen comrade to drink to. Take the bottle. To Monica. Prost. The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and as you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel. It tastes of sweet corn and walnuts with a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hand. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Renairen. What made you come to Berlin? Why do you want to know? Monica told me that you moved here from the Rhine-Ruhr megaplex. Made it sound like you'd been there for a good many years. Successful years at that. Leads a man to wonder why you packed up and moved here. Now this is a neat thing about Dragonfall, is you can sort of kind of determine your character's own backstory here by picking various answers. So let's go with a member of my old crew betrayed me. Ain't that a pisser. I can handle all sorts of things, but betrayal always makes me see red. There were extenuating circumstances. If he didn't do what he did, his family would have paid the price. That's rough, but it's still on him, not you. He should have been more careful. What'd you do? What could I do? I faked my own death. It was the only way to save his family's lives. Wouldn't have been my choice, but good on you, I suppose. All the same, Renairen, saints don't tend to last very long in this line of work. Trust me, I've watched enough of them by it to know. Okay, so you faked your own death, bailed on the rest of your team, and made your way here to Berlin. Dietrich takes another pull on the bottle. Am I getting that right? More or less. There wasn't much left for me in the Ruhrplex, and Monica made me a hell of an offer. Ah, yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica, anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. We're treading into dangerously personal territory here. Are we? Sorry about that. Never been much for boundaries. All the same, I'd like it if you'd tell me. Dietrich shrugs. I always intended to get to know Monica better, but it's too late to ask her in person. I can respect that. So what was the deal between the two of you? Don't leave me in suspense. Let's see, viewers, we were business associates, nothing more. We were friends, or we were very close. Very close makes this game very personal, in my opinion. It influences a lot of my choices pretty directly. So let's go with, we were very close. Dietrich nods. Figured as much. Not from anything you or Monica said, just had a suspicion. Well, anyway, good on you both. Dietrich raises his bottle to you in salute. She was a wonderful woman, and I hope that your time together was happy. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. I've got nothing more to say, boss. Let's just get this run taken care of. You can hit me up again later if you want to talk. And there's Dante, Monica's dog. As you start towards the safehouse door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh, shit. Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amsel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. Kept. He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Turning those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Scratch Dante behind the ears. Dante leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your leg. I guess the dog's going with you, Renairen. Amsel takes a ragged breath and releases it. Then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you finish with Altug, my friend. With little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters. We can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor, and now I think we should all take a moment. His lips tighten. For Monica. We'll save Glory for last. I have a feeling she's going to be, no, rather, Iger for last. I have a feeling that's going to be a tough talk. Glory is beautiful in a waifish sort of way. Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy, but there's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy load of cyberware from head to toe. She looks to be composed more of plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon, but Glory's cyberware is first gen, all of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Renairen. Glory shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is as cold and placid as always. Can I help you? Hey, Glory. How are you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. You sure? You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now it doesn't. Any thoughts on what we should do next? Find our missing client, extract some answers. Beyond that, find another Decker. Monica won't be easy to replace. Best start looking now. I have a question for you, Glory, of the personal kind. I'm not big on sharing sport. Personal reasons, you understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you that she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Sure, I understand, but I still need to talk to you. Glory lets out a weary sigh. Ask your questions, but do it quickly. I have things to do. You can't have started running the shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops, so what's with the vintage chrome? It was cheap. Gets the job done. She shrugs. End of discussion? I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who'd voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. I can't help notice, but you seem guarded, withdrawn. That's my problem, and none of your concern. Whatever happened to you has impaired your ability to trust me, then it is my concern. Come on, Glory. Talk to me. Trust is earned, and I don't know you yet. Maybe later, when we can get to know one another better, we can talk. For now, I prefer if you dropped it. That's all I needed to know. Fine with me. Anything else that you need? I'll talk to you later. She shrugs. Suit yourself. Oh boy. Now for the big one. Iger glares at you, and you can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly still blames you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? We need to talk about Monica. Not right now, we don't. Don't push me on this, Renairen. One of these days, we're gonna hash this out. You can talk all you like about the clusterfuck that killed one of my best friends, but it won't be today. Fair enough. But before I go, I have something else to say. Spit it out then, let's hear it. You owe me an apology. You had no right to call me out like that in front of the team. She replies through clenched teeth. You want to step away from me, Renairen? Right now. No, actually, I don't. Unless you tend to make me leave? It's tempting, Renairen. It's really fucking tempting. But, no, I won't hurt you. Not unless you give me a reason to. That isn't going to happen. You're wrong about me, Iger. and I intend to prove that to you. Or, all right, Iger, I'll give you your space, but this conversation isn't over. It is for now, fearless leader. She turns away. Do us both a favor. Take the hint and go away. Ouch. Well, that went about as well as I expected it to go. About as well as I remembered it going. Again, this isn't a blind LP. Let's see. Not a lot of gears left in my stash. No weapons, drones, decks. Just the rifle I got and one grenade. Yeah. Take what you can get in this line of work of yours. As it is. Time to get out of here and explore. Let's hit the streets. Alright, well. Welcome to the Kreuzbasar. Use bond platform, we don't need just yet, I don't think. Donations for the soup kitchen have slowed, Samuel. I'm not surprised. Altruism often comes with an expiration date. Samuel Beckenbauer, what do you have to say? At the sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there is kindness in his eyes. Ah, hello, human. As you can see, I am in the middle of a conversation with my assistant. The volunteer worker holds her silence, but her expression is full of naked hostility. Samuel gives her a sidelong glance, and she seems to get the message. The fire in her eyes dies down to a low simmer. But we do not want to be impolite. Is there something I can do for you? I couldn't help overhearing your conversation. I take it you run a charity of some sort? He nods. Yes, it isn't much, but we do what we can. Such as? Give me some specifics. He clears his throat and begins to count off on his fingers. In the past several years, I have established a shelter where the dispossessed can sleep, a soup kitchen to feed the hungry, and a library for the people of the Kreuzbasar to better themselves. It isn't much, I admit, but it's a start. A good start, Samuel, the volunteer worker breaks in. You mustn't be so hard on yourself. There are limits to what one man, even a determined man, can accomplish. And this is true? He nods to the orc at his side. Thankfully, some of the residents that I've helped over the years have come back around to help me. I've got 15 assorted orcs and trolls from all around the Kreuzbasar working with me now. They help me man the soup lines, stock the library shelves, and to do all of the hundreds of other little things that a community organization needs done every day. These extraordinary individuals are living proof that what we do here has value. They are my inspiration to continue forward. She beams at the compliment. From her body language, it's clear that she idolizes Beckenbauer. Now, do you have any more questions? And if not, I will bid you good day. I don't wish to sound self-important or rude, but there are many pressing matters that demand my time. 15 assorted orcs and trolls. Does that mean that other races aren't welcome within your organization? That's taking a rather narrow view of what we do. Yes, it is true that my assistants are all members of the goblinoid races. It is also true that before they accepted my help, they were thieves, gangers, and deadbeats. This is not because they were bad people. This is because those of us with goblinoid traits are feared, mistreated, and denied gainful employment by a society that hates us. I hire only goblinoids because mainstream human society has created a need for me to hire only goblinoids. The orcs and trolls of the Kreuzbasar deserve a workplace where they will be treated with dignity and respect. All of that being said, our services are available to all. We wouldn't turn a desperate person away regardless of that person's metatype. Even humans, the most privileged of all races, are welcome at our door. Isn't that what's most important? Your use of exclusionary language is telling. Even humans are allowed. Please, Mingfrud. He shakes his head. Don't make this into something it isn't. Who the hell are you to question Samuel? What have you done for the Kreuzbasar? No, there are more important things to do than argue about this. He nods at you. I'm sure that his heart is in the right place. Now, please, friend, there are many tasks that demand my attention. Is there something more that you need, or shall I bid you farewell? And I'd like to talk about your organization. Yes, of course. Please go on. Are you accepting donations? Yes, of course. We're actually desperate for them, truth be told. People seem more intent on taking care of themselves than they are on providing for the less fortunate. Of course, these concepts are not unrelated. As poverty rates increase, so does the crime rate. Assisting the needy increases the quality of life for all. In any event, our shelter has some basic needs that desperately need to be filled. The walls of the shelter are not insulated, and new blankets would go a long way towards keeping our guests healthy and comfortable. Ideally, we'd like to purchase some space heaters as well. With 250 nuyen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Time to make the world a little bit better, viewers. 250 nuyen. Here, just take what you need. I've got you covered. Samuel's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freund. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. With this donation, we have reached our first goal. Thank you so much for your kind assistance. I will put your contribution to work stocking the shelter with blankets and heaters. Not a problem. Please do not downplay your contribution. You have shown kindness at a time when a few others will. That means something. It means a great deal. Let's check on the donation button again. Oh, wait, they're not accepting donations. Not just at the moment, friend. I'm still working on putting the money that you've already donated to good use. Give us some time and we will set a new goal. But for now, spend your nuyen on yourself. You deserve it. In that case, I'd like to talk about your organization's policies. Yes, what would you like to discuss? Actually, nothing for now, Samuel. Let's talk about something else. Go ahead then, I'm listening. No questions, actually, just passing by. Met one of the more important inhabitants. As you can see, some people you can't talk to, some people you can. And Dante's with us here. Lane. Before you stands a troll, though it is a stretch to say he's standing at all. His great mass is barely held up by two vintage prosthetic legs, along with a crutch under one arm. His body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite these disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. I know you. Haven't been here long. Knew the Kreuzbasar then. Heard Monica had some fresh meat in her stable. Yeah, there's something you should know about Monica. Something happened to her on the run. You know something about it? Just what my eyes and ears tell me. I had a feeling. Besides, Monica almost always comes round after a run to check on everybody. She's long overdue, and now here you are in her place. So she's either severely wounded or outright dead. Which is it? I'm afraid she's gone. The grizzled troll nods grimly. The servos in his prosthetics complain as he lets loose a heavy sigh. Now, that is a shame. She was one hell of a runner, that one. And a good friend. I'm Renairen, by the way. Good to meet you, Renairen. My name is Alexei Lane. What's your place in the Kreuzbasar? No place, really. Just an old relic rusting away. I'll leave you be. You can talk to him again, though. Something else you need? I'll leave you be. That's what I do. I leave people be. I should go. Should have called him Shepherd. I should go. Let's see what we've got up here. Oh. Statue of an... Oh, the phone's ringing. Okay. Check that phone booth. Unexpected. It's an old, obsolete phone booth, but it's ringing. Pick up the receiver. A monotone, pitch-adjusted voice begins speaking almost immediately. The shock while in the Rater's contract for this keys is no more. Renairen is listed as a follow-up contact. This is our only secured line to this keys. Please listen to the following instructions carefully if you are a supporter of our cause. Continue listening. We have phone booths in strategic locations throughout the city. Within each one, you may find a request posted for specific information. If you can obtain a copy of this information, return here and submit it via the port below the receiver. We'll verify the authenticity of the information remotely and post an undoctored copy of it onto the Matrix ourselves. It is our stated goal for the information to remain free to all. However, you will be compensated for sought-after information returned to this location. The line goes silent. Well, payday's a payday, and free information never hurt any... Well, it hurt a lot of people, actually, but I'll keep an eye out. The line remains silent. Hang up. So that's some side quests you can do there, and also good for a little bit of bonus karma. Karma in this game is a little bit different from experience points. You get karma for doing, well, missions, but also good deeds, basically. Being a cold-hearted bastard gets you some serious nuyen, but not the other side of things. A bizarre monument towers before you. At the top of the pedestal, the form of an angel stands, its outstretched wings looming over the small park. But the material is strange and uneven, giving the statue a cold, Frankenstein-esque appearance. It appears that the artist has welded this monument together from various metal scraps and pieces of junk. As you approach, a small, grimy monitor at the base of the statue flickers to life. The grainy face of a smug young orc appears on screen. Hello there. I'm Herbert Kunzel, creator of this monument. What would you like to know? Press the 1 key for statue name. This is my tribute to victory, the victory of anarchy. It is both a citation and parody of the statue we destroyed some 20 years ago. You may remember it from the history trids as the Siegelsaul or Goldels. Yeah, those are both wrong. Sorry, viewers. Why is this all in German? Press the 2 key. Installation history. Isn't it obvious? The Segesal, a monument to the hubris of the Prussian state, gets blown to bits. So someone takes a lot of bits and builds a monument to the hubris of anarchy. I mean, what more is there to say? Press the 3 key. About the artist. I am the visionary Herbert Kunzel from the Lindwurmer. You might know me from... Okay, well, there isn't much I'm known for yet, but I intend to change that. All art is born from misery, after all. Step away from the statue. Let's see what else we've got to talk to here. Oh, Simi. Warming herself in the dim light of a dying street lamp is a waif of a girl who looks too worn for her years. Mother Superior, she says there will be 7 for me to care for. Needs to see to them. I wasn't aware of any convent or church nearby. She's there when I close my eyes, and I'm Maria. She says I'm to be governess to the children. You notice a chipjack poking out beneath the young woman's unruly hair. The vacant look in her eyes marks her as a likely BTL junkie, lost between reality and any number of better-than-life virtual constructs. I need money to get back to them. This story sounds familiar. Captain Von Trapp is very well known and respected. The poor dear lost his wife, and the children their mother. A child should not be without a mother, and a mother should not be without a child. Have you seen the captain? Look, do you know Monica? Monica? Is she one of the sisters at the Abbey? No, wait. Monica. A flicker of recognition fights through the haze in the young woman's eyes. Yes, Monica. She's good to me. She brings me food to eat and tea to drink. Something happened to her. Despite the woman's persistent delirium, she seems to glean meaning from your tone. She died? I'm sorry, she did. The girl grips her head with claw-like hands, tugging at her hair as if she might pull her brain out through her skull. I don't like this, but I can't switch it off. The girl's frail body shudders and her eyes grow large, but she does not sob. Instead, she smiles a sad smile, which looks to have been worn all too often. She will go to heaven, she told me. It's a place for good people, stillborn babies and childhood pets. She was a good person. The girl begins to mumble herself while fingering the hair that covers the jack in her head. I'm gonna step away now. Yes, good. I need to rejoin the children. Have you seen the captain's children? Yeah, she's a better-than-life addict. Better-than-life chips are basically, essentially, videos or DVDs you pop into a data jack into your head and you live them. Like you're actually in there. And she's not doing so well. Triage, cyber clinic. That sounds totally safe. Dr. Xavier Ezekbel. As you approach the elf, you notice that he's in mid-conversation. His lips move rapidly, and his voice comes out in a low, quiet tone. The glossy plastic shell of a high-grade comlink glistens on his wrist. Let's listen in on his conversation. Doing your best to look uninterested, you lean in slightly and strain your ears. You find that you can make out the doctor's end of the conversation. No. The price I'm quoting you is more than fair. Well below market value, in fact. If you can't pay it, that's your problem. Yes, I know that the price has gone up. This is a seller's market. Well, then you'll just have to find your money or go without. I'm sorry, but I have to go. Have a patient. He presses a button on his comlink and looks up at you with a $1 million smile on his face. Sorry about that, my friend. Welcome to the Triage Cyber Clinic. He extends his hand to you. I am Dr. Xavier Ezekbel, and your name is? Renairen. A pleasure. Shake his hand. Pleased to meet you, Renairen. What can I do for you today? Well, I need medical supplies. So, trauma kits restore you to total health, or, restores teammate life with 25% of their total health, or if you go down, it heals you up. Bunch of basic med kits. Or, more interestingly, let's go with this. I need cyberware. So, here we go. Data jack, iData jack, all sorts of fun things. Good for riggers, deckers, those who want to use SmartLink weapons. Induction data jack. Good for deckers and riggers who don't want to... Oh, this stuff's all new. That's new. The iData jack is new. So if you don't want to take up space in your head... Nice. So you can save headwear space. Very cool. Because we can't afford most of this stuff, which adds HP and other things, but also costs pretty hefty essence. So we could add some HP right now. 6, in fact, would be pretty decent, but it's all our money. Let's just hold off for now. But this guy, I plan on making a lot of trips to. I'm a big fan of cyberware. I usually play Street Samurais when I do the tabletop stuff, actually. Although, again, I don't have a lot of experience with it, older editions. Looking for some magic, mein Freund? You got the cash, old Zach's got the flash. The elf has clearly seen better days. His skin is weathered and emaciated, as though it has been stretched too tightly over his frame. Track marks line the crooks of his arms, and dirty bandages wrap his knuckles. Despite all of this, he seems cheerful enough. The elf fixes his twinkling, bugged-out eyes on yours and offers you a broad smile, displaying a set of impossibly white teeth. When he speaks to you, a voice is surprisingly deep. Guten Tag, mein Freund. You here for some magic? Because Zach, actually, it gets to be Zake with 2 A's, Zake Flash. He gestures at himself with a dramatic flourish. Is your magic man. Magic? You a street mage? Zach lets out a throaty, barking laugh. Street mage? Me? Do I look like a street mage to you? He shakes his head, but his smile doesn't waver. He fishes a small bag of pills out of his back pocket and dangles it before your eyes. No, chummer, I'm not a street mage. I've got the magic in my blood, and magic in these bags, but you won't catch old Zake studying any spell books. Well, in that case, let's talk about the magic you've got in that bag there. What have you got? Oh, a little bit of everything. I've got your Zen and your Hyper, your Nitro and your Nova Coke. If you want it, I've got it. Zake leans towards you and lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. I've even got a special concoction of my own design, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you're serious about getting high. So, you want to conduct a little business? What's up with the bandages on your hands? Zach snorted a short burst of laughter. He waggles his bandaged hands in front of you. Oh, these? Nothing much, chummer, nothing much. Tussled with the spirit back in Amsterdam. You know, we elves are very spiritual people. So you do have a response as race elf, but since I'm human, you fought a spirit with your bare hands. Did I say fought? Zach winks at you, his smile twisting up into a licentious smirk. You can't help but notice that his eyes seem to be dusted with glitter. Nah, chummer. Zach Flash is a lover, not a fighter. We partied, then we tussled. Hard not to get banged up under the circumstances. Gotcha. What was that you were saying about elves? Elves, you know, my people, are creatures of the spirit. We've got the magic in our blood, whether we sling spells or not. I'm telling you, I've talked with spirits all my life, and it has nothing to do with praying to a totem or studying spell books. Flash lowers his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. Between you and me, my mojo is stronger than any corp wage mages. Take those rat scum bastards at As Technology. They cast spells all day and night, right? Fire this and lightning that, just tossing around like candy. Right. Well, me, I'm just doing my thing, not casting spells. I'm storing up my energy, saving it. Can you imagine how much magic I have? I don't think that's how it works, Zach. He's Zach from now on. Trust me, friend, I have secret knowledge. He slowly turns his head from side to side to give you a look at his upturned ears. Like I said, it's in the blood. Biotech 3, examine his ears. Because, guess what? He's not exactly a real deal elf. He's what people in Shadowrun call an elf poser. Someone that had basically surgery done to lengthen his ears, and you can call him on it here. But sadly, I don't have the biotech for it. Okay, Zach, I trust you. Now, can we do some business? Well, I am a businessman, and I suppose that you're a customer. Who am I to say no? So, you want to conduct a little business? What's the deal with this special concoction? Flash's grin broadens even further. His mouth is disturbingly large, and there's something menacing about the sight of those 2 white teeth. This is the real deal, chummer. Proprietary blend, designed and delivered by yours truly. Pharmaceutical-grade kamikaze cut with genuine spirit residue from the tier, and mixed with my secret blend of herbs and spices. He produces a small packet filled with iridescent purple granules from the pocket of his dirty jeans. You want to get high? Buy some Nova Coke and throw yourself a party. But if you want to soar, you get yourself some flash. So, you want to conduct a little business? Show me what you got. So, he's not lying about flash. It's super expensive, but it gives you +2 movement and +2 actions for 1 round. That's kind of wild. Unfortunately, the price is a little high for me, 700 Nuyen for a one-shot deal. Nah, there's more conventional combat drugs here, and I actually probably will make use of them later on. Kamikaze is pretty good for melee fighters, so is Nitro, but not so good for casters. That's really all the business I want to do with Zach Flash, so let's see what else is going down around here. Not a lot of other people that want to talk here. Gunari Metbach. The Romani patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man in his late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, and his breath is heavy with the stench of pipe tobacco. Seven Bakstal, you're here to conduct some business. If so, I welcome you to Metbach Arms and Ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. I was hoping to ask you a few questions. You make a purchase, you can ask as many questions as you like. The corner of his mouth twitches upward. Make a big enough purchase, and who knows, I may even answer a few. So, what'll it be? Will you buy some guns, or will you be on your merry way? In that case, I suppose I'm buying. Metbach nods. Very good. So, here we go. Now this, as I mentioned, the smart links requires data jack. If you have a look here, actually they don't do more damage, but they do add accuracy bonuses. Now I don't... Okay, that just pulls out of the cart. So I can't use them because I don't have a data jack yet. Besides, we're not really looking at pistols right now. We want to look at rifles. Too pricey for me, but that's a sniper rifle. So I could buy this one. It's actually one more damage than my assault rifle and bigger ammo allowance too. Katana, machete, and grenades. Many a grenade. Concussion grenades do AP damage. Spiked fist, unarmed, causes minor bleeding with the damage of your strength +1. May do AP damage on a critical hit. So smoke grenades, concussion grenades, all sorts of fun stuff. The armor is kind of what got me interested here because I don't really have very good armor. I think. Check it out. Yeah, armor 1. No good. On the other hand, I don't plan on getting shot, so you know what? I'm going to hold on to that for now. Yeah, let's check this U station, see what's down here. Answer is a whole lot of nothing. You can actually hit the Alt key here to highlight anything interactive on the screen, which is quite handy. Oh man, dancing in leather. Sort of dancing in this weather. You know what? Dancer's bag. That's tipper of 5 note. And she does a little twirl. Yay! Alright, now, Talismonger's shop. Not gonna spend a lot of time here, honestly, because I'm not a magician, but... Absinthe. Let's have a chat. Something about the young elf behind the counter makes your breath catch in your chest. She's lovely to look at, but it's a strange kind of beauty. Her eyes are large and luminous and impossibly green. As she looks up at you, you can see that her irises reflect with iridescent gold. Hello, and welcome to Algernon's. Perhaps I can help you with something? As she smiles up at you, her eyes fixed on yours, a curious feeling of weightlessness fills your chest. It feels as though you're floating in a warm, calm sea. A gentle current pulls you closer to Absinthe, and the sensation is pleasant. As you drift, the golden specks in her eyes begin to move. So you can look away if you have willpower 4, but I do not, so look deeper into her eyes. The golden specks in the elf's eyes shift and swirl, slowly picking up speed. It's mesmerizing. All at once, the specks explode into light and color. Absinthe's eyes now fill your field of vision, and it feels as if you're drowning in an alien sea. The patterns traced by the shimmering specks in her eyes are kaleidoscopic, enchanting, nearly impossible to turn away from. Willpower 6, you don't have that good. You are lost. Your entire world has been reduced to a churning vortex of green and gold. Dimly, you become aware that something is happening. You feel your body being buffeted by unseen forces, and suddenly, everything goes black. Slowly and painfully, you struggle your way back to consciousness. The shop's owner, Algernon, is peering down at you, an expression of concern on his face. Absinthe stands beside him, her expression one of embarrassment. Welcome back, friend. Algernon extends a hand to help you to your feet. Absinthe shifts slightly to allow you to stand. What was that? What happened? My fault and my apologies. Sometimes when I daydream, I bring others along for the ride. It was unintentional. Yes, but there was no harm done, correct? You'll be fine. No harm done. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go stand in the corner for a while. Talk to her again. Absinthe keeps her eyes hidden from view. Please excuse me, I have work to do. And Algernon? Greetings, young human. The elf's voice is smooth and silk and rich as clotted cream. Something about him instantly puts you at ease. I am Algernon Halfdream, the owner of this establishment. In my shop, you will find only the finest and magical paraphernalia. Now tell me, how may I serve you? I have a question for you if you don't mind. You are in luck. I have a great many answers. What kind of magic do you practice? Shamanic? Hermetic? Personally, the true kind. But I sell goods tailored to all traditions. In my shop, we do not discriminate. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What's your story? Have you been in the Kreuzbasar long? I have many stories. Stories of dancing spirits and raging dragons, of unchecked magic and swarming chaos. All of these stories are true. As for the Kreuzbasar, I have always been here, quietly peddling my wares. It is a simple life, but a good one. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What's the deal with your assistant? There's something funny about her eyes. Absent as a friend, nothing more. She helps out around the shop when the fancy strikes her. She is nobody's assistant, and I am no one's master. But her eyes? He pauses for a moment, considering. I believe they suit her personality. Can I see what you're selling? So, not going to get a lot of use here, but this is where you get your spells and armor if you're a spellcaster of any kind, including key magic, and elemental fetishes you can use to summon various powered spirits. You saw me summon one from the ground, from the territory, but you can only summon them if you have the option. So, here, you can give yourself more flexibility by actually buying the fetishes, which I can do nothing. So, that almost completes our tour here, except for the place we were supposed to go originally. We have 2 more stops to make. We're going to talk to David over here. A pair of round eyes peer up at you from under the hood of a grime-smeared winter coat. You recognize him as David, one of the Kreuzbasar's street kids. If you had to guess, you'd place him in his mid-teens, though it's difficult to tell beneath the grime and acne marring his face. You've seen him following Monica around between runs, chasing her heels like a lost puppy. She always seemed to have a soft spot for the kid. Oh, hoi, Renairen. Have you seen Monica around? I've been looking all over for her. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, kid. The kid blinks, a blank expression on his face. She's dead, isn't she? It was quick. She went peacefully. It's the most that any of us can hope for. Yeah, look, I think I want to be alone right now. That's all you can get out of David. And our last stop is someone else I won't get any use out of. Mallet Hollier. The dwarven tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease, her almond eyes twinkling with the glare from a dozen trid screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavily accented German. No, devs. Why would you do this to me? I'm not even going to try, viewers. Welcome to Data Haven. Can I help you with something? I need some tech and I'm on a tight schedule. Show me what you got. All business. So, data jacks, decking, programs, and drones. Now, sadly, again, no use of this, but drones, I might get some mileage out of later. Just right now, again, not my forte. Not my forte. There's a lot of fighting in this game, and I build my guy combat heavy. Now, finally where we need to be. I got a menu board over here. What do they got here? Caramel Soykov. All right. Jan Goldschmidt. Jan Goldschmidt says, "Hello, my friend." The voice that comes from the man in the deep chair is as enormous as its owner, a deep booming roar, dripping with unrestrained mirth. A fine day for Soykov, yes? Yeah, it's certainly a beautiful... From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeep cuts you off. Altug, don't mind the fool in the chair. He roars like a traumatized walrus, stewing all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. I tolerate him only because he takes his Soykov by the bucket. Goldschmidt responds with a raucous belly laugh. Apparently, he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. Ah, Altug, mein Freund, you are quick-witted and sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you. If you wouldn't mind... Once again, the shopkeep cuts in. To bow to me, you would first have to vacate your chair. The shopkeep claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. I shall summon a team of determined young men and an ox to assist with the task. With luck, we'll be on your feet by nightfall. Goldschmidt smiles up at you, his small eyes glittering. Enough of this senseless bickering. You approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Jan Goldschmidt do for you? Why do you keep putting up with those insults? Don't you have any pride? I put up with them because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infuriates my dear friend Altug, who in turn hurls more insults. Goldschmidt raises his Soykov cup in salute, and thus the cycle continues. It is 2 years now that I've been your customer. Yes, Altug. 2 years of soykaf and restrained patience. Yes. And I remain happy, and Altug makes money. An ideal business relationship. That all sounds perfectly healthy. Take care, Jan. Goldsmith gives you a deep nod, his jowls quivering. Until next time, my friend. And now with our business. Altug Bragaxi. The man behind the counter looks right past you and at the dog following close behind. Dante, I will fetch his water dish, and perhaps a coffee for you, my friend. Soykaf, black. The Turk looks disgusted. Very well, a soy calf. He tisks to himself. The man behind the counter has the broad smile and open demeanor of a classic Turkish street vendor. Welcome, honored Effenheim. Welcome, and how Burak Gazi. God damn you, Altug Burak Gazi, for having that name. Serve you today. You like a cup of coffee, perhaps? Coffee, as in real coffee, not soy calf. Yes. For individuals of refined taste, I offer genuine bean coffee from my native Turkey. The cafe owner looks you in the eye. The tone of his voice grows low and serious. This is a top-shelf item, my friend, and not for the general public. Only for those few discerning connoisseurs who can properly appreciate it. I think I'm the sort who can appreciate it. Tell me about the Turkish coffee. It is handpicked by my family in Turkey, a true delicacy of the sixth world. This was considered a luxury even before the awakening, when bean coffee was everywhere. Every street corner, they say. Buragazi leans in close, lowering his voice to a conspiratorial whisper. A lot of people lower their voices to conspiratorial whispers in this game. Long hours in the shop have perfumed his body with a commingled sense of coffee, incense, and applewood tobacco. Trust me, if your coffee experience has been limited to soy calf, you must not deny yourself this opportunity. You will see God. Alright, you sold me. How much? This is a specialty item delivered at some cost. I cannot part for it less than 50 nuyen a cup. 50 nuyen. Pay the man. Deal. Very good. Bargasi hands you a ceramic travel cup, which he has filled to the brim with a dark, steaming liquid. The scent is intoxicating. Is there anything more I can get you? Yeah, actually. Paul Amsel sends his regards. When he hears Amsel's name, the Turk's voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Please express to Herr Amsel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs seen to in the future, I'm always happy to provide. He tells me you're developing the menu for a friend of his now, Herr Winters, I believe. I want to hear all about it. Ah, yes, of course, O wise one. Kami, come. A young woman bustles in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. Bargazi spits something out in rapid-fire Turkish. As you wish, uncle. I will see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries back into the room that she came from. My girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we wait, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I'm almost embarrassed to ask, but I would be most appreciative of your help. So what's this trifle? Altuk's voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I have installed a number of data taps to Berlin's fiber optic network. As part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide free matrix access for all who live in the Kreuzbasar. In order to maintain their, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. I simply wish for you to visit each data tap and reset it. That's it? No catch? There is no catch, I assure you. It is time-consuming and a bit tedious, nothing more. Just reset the taps and come back here when you are finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around this neighborhood. The first one is just outside. Look for a metal box with yellow arrows painted atop it. By the time of your return, I should have the information Herr Amsel requested. So, example of good design, viewers. The data tap run here is fairly straightforward, but it also gives you a reason to, well, look around the bazaar. So, data tap number 1, protocol buffer is reset. Nice and straightforward. Now let's see. I think I saw another one up here, I believe. Yeah, up by the statue. Here we are. So I'll reset that guy. And then one more. Ah, here it is. As you're resetting the data tap, you notice that someone has duct taped a small homemade receiver to the system. An earplug dangles from the receiver. Put the earplug in your ear. The sound of heavy machinery makes it difficult to hear the words that are being spoken. After a moment, you find you can make out two distinct voices, a nasal woman who sounds like a heavy smoker, and a man who speaks in a high-pitched, breathy tone. Just heard Monica. Need to verify. Good for us. Continue listening. A sound like a conveyor belt starts adding to the noise of the machinery, and you can't make out anything else until it stops a minute later. Think our next step isn't ready to make a move yet. Be patient. See who steps up. Could be someone more. More conveyor belts start up. All you can hear is the sound of machinery. Some sort of motorized vehicle starts up, drowning out everything else. A bell begins to ring loudly again and again. Sounds like a telephone. You hear the door suddenly slamming shut, and the noise of machinery is suddenly muffled. There's a rattle of plastic, and the ringing stops. The nasal woman's voice can be heard again in a sing-song tone. Guten Tag, how may I help you? Silence. Her tone changes, becomes more businesslike. I heard. Silence. Yes, he knows. I told him it wasn't time to make a move yet. What do you think I am? An idiot? The council needs to meet again. I know. Getting everyone in the same room is challenging. Getting them to agree on a course of action is going to be even more challenging. From my perspective, the Kreuzbasar was only stable because of her. If she really is out of the way, well, we'll see, won't we? Yeah, I know. What can I say? Things go slow in the flux sometimes. You hear the sound of a door opening again, and the cacophony of machinery fills the line. You can't make out anything more. So, obviously people know that Monica's gone. That she was a stabilizing factor here. And they're waiting to see if someone steps up. Now, someone's going to step up. It's going to be me, viewers. And you, if you play this wonderful game. I'm shilling it because it's awesome. Simple, but awesome. Alright, looks like Altuk's finished up here. Altuk smiles at you from behind the counter. Welcome back, Honored Effendim. How may I serve you? I finished with your little trifle, Herr Burakazi. Ah, very good. I assume you had no difficulties. Difficulties? No. One of the taps had been modified a bit, though. Someone was using it as a surveillance device. He laughs. Of course they were. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't. This is Berlin, after all. In the flux, everyone spies. If you do not spy, how will you know who is in power and who will be in power next? If you are to stay here, Effendim, you must get used to it. Who enters the Turkish bath will sweat, as my uncle Taydemir always says. Nevertheless, I shall have one of my people look into it. Wait, there's more, though. I listened in on the tap and heard something. Might be important. He eyes you closely, amused. Oh, tell me, O listener at keyholes. What did you hear on the surveillance tap you found? I couldn't make out much. A nasal woman and a high-pitched man. They seemed pleased Monica was out of the picture. The Turk's face falls. News travels fast in Berlin. These two are known to me. Is there more? The woman got a call. She talked about a council meeting tonight to decide if they should make a move. Then she was drowned out by heavy machinery. He nods grimly. Most excellent. It is indeed fortuitous that you discovered this information, though it is not unexpected. I will have one of my people attend to this council meeting and report back. Sounds good. Keep me in the loop? With that out of the way, let us return to our pressing business. He barks a stream of rapid-fire Turkish, and the gum-chewing young woman comes hurrying out to the counter. The menu for Herr Amsel, uncle. Kami hands you a folded piece of paper. Inside is a memory stick. Please extend my consolations to him. The death of Fräulein Schäfer must have hit him hard. Buragazi gives Kami a small nod, and she hurries out of the room. When she is gone, he returns his attention to you. Please express my condolences as well. I only just heard the news. Monica was an important part of this community. He frowns. Few know how important. The memory stick Kami just handed you should contain all the information Herr Amsel requires from our chef in the field. Should you require my services in the future, you know where to find me. Until then, good day. Well, viewers, we did a lot of exploring. Accomplished a few things. Felt out the Kreuzbasar, which is our new home, and got that data stick. I think, though, it's time to take a break here. And then when we return, we'll have a chat with Paul Amsel, the rest of our team, and see what they have to say. Till then, viewers, until then.